Well, good morning, my little world, and today we're going to explore something new. It's learning how to read tarot cards. So I meditated about this morning before I chose these cards. Part of learning to read tarot is to be able to put things in your cards together. So let me introduce you to my cards. This is the Morgan Career deck. This is a very old deck, maybe. I've had it 5, 6, 10 years. I don't know, but it's my favorite reading deck. And you will eventually find a favorite reading deck for some of the favorite reasons. Originally, this was going to be a 6-card reading, but as I went to put all my cards out, I usually let them pick up vibrations. I put them out on my pool table, and then I let them pick up vibrations before I draw them. As I was putting them out, the Emperor card came up, so I just added it to this reading, and I'm sure you'll see later why. The best part of a reading is tying everything together. The colors, the numbers, the people, the signs, and the symbols. So let's go through and see what we have. We have the Emperor, and I'm just considering that an extra card. It may come in later. The first card we got is the 6 of Rods. Now notice the blue color, notice the rods. Some are in the past position, some are in the future position. The horse is looking back at the past, so it tells me some things that are in life have already been passed, but we'll get more into that when we do the reading. The next card we have is the 2 of Pentacles, which usually means somebody's trying to balance their bills and their money. Pentacles are your money cards. And right next to that is the 4 of Pentacles. Now, the interesting part is these two present themselves together. And so far, if you look at the numbers, we have 2, 4, and 6. So those are all even numbers. That's an interesting thought right there. The fact that we have 2 pentacles in a row tells me that there may be a money situation that may be improving. So, the next card that we have is the Knight of Cups. And since he's looking toward the future, I would say he's a future card. The next one we have is the 3 of Rods. Now, if you look, our hero is looking back on his past. He's got his back totally turned toward the future. Now, if you remember, we have the 10 of Rods as well. So I'll compare these two cards in a minute. Wow, and the last card is the 8 of Pentacles. And isn't that interesting? That's an even number 2. 2, 4, and 8. The other thing is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 doubled is 8. So that tells me, maybe money's on the horizon in this reading. One of the other interesting things in this reading that I hadn't come up on very often is all the figures in these cards are males. Now, how weird is that? When you put them all together, you have to put together the similarities and the differences. So, if we look, this one's got a yellow background, this one's got a yellow background, this one's got a yellow background. This one's got a blue background, this one's got a blue background, and this one's got a blue background with something on the horizon. This card is the only one with the orange background. So, what I'm going to do is put these 3 together at this point and show you that you may be having some problems at this point juggling money a little bit. That's what the 2 of Pentacles usually means, is that you're trying to balance. You're trying to keep things going. If you look, the 2 is also brought into this card by the feather in a hat. I see 3 birds in the past side, and I see a boat on the horizon in the future. So that tells me a lot about this card in this situation. But right next to it appeared the 4 card. And this time, the money isn't being juggled. There's extra. There's more to juggle. It's on your mind. It's under control. It's a more stable, peaceful environment. You know, you see the brick wall. It doesn't mean that you're at a brick wall. It just means everything is now sturdy, a little more in position where it needs to be. The yellow background, that's a very happy background. That's a very opportunistic background. And so I like that. And then we've got the 8. The 8 of Pentacles. You see somebody working. He's working hard to finish that. You know, to try to bring that future into focus. As you notice, he's looking at the future. He's working diligently. He's not paying attention to really what's going on around him. But he's working to make that money work. So I would say there's a little money on the horizon. And that's going to work out well. Okay, so let's look at these 2, which is the 6 of Rods and the 3 of Rods. Now there's a lot together on these 2 cards. Besides the different colored backgrounds and different meanings, one's a very forward-facing card. One's a very back-facing card. And the other thing in this reading that I noticed today was I did not have any cards presented in the upside-down position, which is really good. So the 6 of Clubs, when I look at him, he tells me that, you know, there's been some problems in the past. And that's behind him by signifying it being behind him, his robe, and his horse. I also see those same problems presenting themselves in the future. But, you know, it seems like it's less important at that point. Maybe they've been handled. Maybe they've been taken care of. The horse is looking back at the future, but it doesn't appear like it wants to go there. So I like that. But this tells me that definitely the past is really affecting the future. And it shows this one rod right there in the future, untouched, as well as the one rod held in this hand. So I would say this rod is going to continue into the future, creating that problem. Because here it shows his hand firmly holding on to that rod from the past. So, you know, I see growth, but signified by the cards itself. And so, whatever problems there are, they may be growing. And that's going to have to work out before you can get to here. So let's put him back. Let's put him back. And let's look at the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a young man. He's coming into your future. He's trying to bring some stability. He's in shining armor. He's your hero. He's got the wings on his helmet, so he may be an angel in disguise. He may be someone that you totally not expected. But he holds in his hand a chalice, meaning that he wants to offer you something. So I'm wondering if that happens when one turns their back and refuses to go back into the past and refuses to grab that stick in the future. It just tells me it needs a little more work. So anyway, this is a brief reading, a brief synopsis on how I feel about these cards. You know, if I bring the Emperor into it, he's yellow, 3's yellow, 4's yellow, blue, 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 and only 1 orange still. All males, and only two real suits, the Rods and the Pentacles. The Knight of Cups, well, yes, the cup is a good thing, but it's not showing me love or anything else, so, you know, that may be a little happiness. So I'd love to hear you guys' reactions on what you think of this video. and have a great day. Love to all, Gemini.